Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, May 16th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick, before I get to the top 10 list, I want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering next week. So if you like what you see here and you want to learn more about this tool, then certainly get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So again, if you like what you see, then definitely get signed up for the free class. A couple of quick clarification points. First off, the market's still open for a little bit of time. So this price over here, you see, will still be moving and the candlestick will be moving. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open for a small amount of time because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day type price movement, especially as it's a Friday headed into the weekend. And then also I'll be using the 30-minute time frame. So for you beginners out there, what that means is each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, PIXY. What a monster move on this one. Penny stock, which I know are popular, huge volume down there, and you're going to have a lot of eyeballs, I'm sure, watching this one on Monday. And let me be very clear, as I draw this first area, in no way am I trying to imply that this is a great discovery or that I have some sort of special talent to have seen this. I assure you a bunch of people have noticed that level up there at 66 cents. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same level and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very worthwhile type price movements if it's broken. Now, don't get me wrong, no such thing as a guarantee in the market, but my point here is that is it valid? Is it rational to think that if the price comes up there and breaks up through there, that could, create some good upside buying pressure? Yeah, that's absolutely a plausible thought to have. Not a guaranteed thought, but more than rational. So keep an eye on that if you're some sort of breakout player. If you prefer to more so play the pullbacks, an interesting pullback area right down here around that 48-cent mark. But all in all, no doubt about it, big move today, big volume. Let's see if this carries on over into Monday. Next, VERU. This has been a big mover in the past, so good to see it getting another surge of life again. And going back to the whole talking point of self-fulfilling prophecy and not me trying to sit here and imply that I have some sort of special talent, we have that here with a very well-defined pattern. So like I said, I assure you a bunch of people are going to be watching that pattern. So we have the resistance portion of the pattern there. We have the support portion of the pattern. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. We have the support portion right there. And actually, let me change this to green. Wow, can you tell it's Friday? I'm on the struggle. There we go. We have the support portion, like I said, so I'll change that to green. And then just to make this all the same color, maybe easier to see, again, we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big momentum move right there, and let's put a golf hole down there to make it more visual. This would be known as a bull pennant pattern. So if you like to play bull pennants, if you like to play this price range, down below the $20 mark with these stocks that have track records of moving pretty quickly, this is one where, again, no such thing as a guarantee, but is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price can push up to that area and get the pattern breakout, that could create some additional buying pressure? That is more than a plausible thought to have. Next one, AMC, which overall I would consider a good solid day. Now, maybe not as solid of a day as what some people were thinking because that opening 30 minutes, which you can see right there, price gapped up, made a big move all the way up to there, and then kind of just bled downwards. However, taking a step back and looking at more than just a single day, you can see that overall put in higher bases, and you have to keep in the context from Thursday, where Thursday there was this big move all the way down to right there. And right now, the lowest it went was right there. So it's still higher than where things had, collapsed on Thursday. So it still did make progress from a, general bigger picture type viewpoint. So again, yes, I acknowledge that some people are maybe disappointed, but like I said, looking at it from a bigger picture, the price is still putting those higher bases, which is now where 1150 comes into play. And this is just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. And just from a, put on your imagination cap here. If you want to pretend that each one of these lows here is a stair step, you'll notice that these stair steps are now being constructed in the upwards direction, and that's what you want to see. Assuming you're bullish and you want to see signs of progress, well, then these stair steps are quote-unquote signs of progress, and that's why I love charts, because it's one thing for me to say, hey, look for signs of progress, but what does that even mean? Those are just words, but like I said, with charts, you can make that very visual with those stair steps. As far as areas of resistance, definitely the key level to watch going into next week, going to be right up here at $12.50. You can see $12.50 was a problem area right there. And then once again, opening 30 minutes, that's right where it got rejected. So keep a very close eye on that. I think that'll be a very pivotal level come next week. Next one, PLTR. Talked about this in the previous video, drew that trend line and acknowledged and observed how the price had broken out. So the big question going into today was there going to be any continuation? And yeah, it definitely was continuation. Nice gap up, nice opening 30 minutes, and then the prices slowly continue to grind higher and higher. So a good pattern breakout here. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines as they serve their purpose for now. And we'll zoom in here a bit more. But as far as key levels to now watch going into next week, first level is what I would call the ideal level. When you say, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute best going forward? And that would be if the price can stay above $8. Now, if the price drops below it, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that implies that the entire chart's destroyed. All I'm saying is best case, and what would make the chart look the strongest is staying above $8. But taking a step back and looking at things from the bigger picture, now begin to watch that purple line there, which is the 50-period moving average, which has now begun to actually go in the upwards direction. For the longest time, as you can see there, it was just down, 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 down. But now it's moving upwards, and again, it is a moving average. So as time goes by, that line is going to keep on moving higher and higher. So it's basically like a trend line that's going to draw itself for you. So in other words, as long as the price stays above that quote-unquote trend line, that does imply that the price is putting in higher lows, which is what matters from a bullish standpoint. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, an interesting territory because really nothing until up here around $9.50 because you have this big, gap area right here. Now, do gaps have to close? No, nothing has to happen in the market. But yeah, at this point, it's not unreasonable to think that this thing could pick up some more momentum and potentially get up to that 950 mark. But again, plausible thought, yes. Guaranteed thought, absolutely not, because those don't exist. Next one, SOFI, same story and why I wanted to put it here by PLTR. There is this general trend line that I had drawn previously in another top 10 video, and you can see right there, Thursday, last 30 minutes, got the breakup above it, which led to the question, okay, is this the start of something bigger in terms of a breakout? And yes, that was definitely the start of something bigger. Almost a mirror image of PLTR, very strong opening 30 minutes, and has continued to grind higher and higher. So overall, nice breakout, and going to go ahead and just get rid of these lines as they serve their purpose. As far as areas of support are concerned, and I'm not going to redefine all this because we just talked about it, but the ideal level of support, going to be right there at $6.25. And then again, the overarching support, that purple line, which is now sloping upwards. So as it progresses upwards, as long as the price is above there, that is a good sign for the bulls. And then as far as areas of resistance are concerned, next key level to watch closely, going to be right up there at $6.90. You can see this was a problem area back here. And then once again, never hit it exactly today, but got, generally speaking, close to it. So keep a close eye on that. But no doubt about it, very, very impressive day here for SOFI. Next, MULN, a pretty popular one, or I should say formerly popular, and got a lot more popular today. Once again, as you can see, looking down here, a good solid volume surge. And overall held up. Like AMC, I'm sure people are a little disappointed that it didn't hang up more so in this region of the chart. But going back to the whole idea of stair steps, you can still see that when you look at where the lows have been, these lows, aka stair steps, are continuing to progress in the upwards direction. So yes, maybe today, a bit disappointing from where it was. However, taking a step back and looking at more than just one day, progress is still being made. So on that note, and for that reason, that's what I'd consider down here around 90 cents important, because you don't want to see the price starting to go back to where it was. And if the price breaks below 90, that would essentially be putting the price right back inside of that range, which again, from a bullish standpoint, is not exactly what you would want to see. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, key level right now to watch is going to be that trend line right there, which you can see by using that point and that point. Did a very accurate job of forecasting where that general area was going to be. So right now, that area of resistance seems to be right up around the 105 mark. But overall, nice close to the week. The progress is making, in the bullish direction with those higher stair steps. So let's see if the stair steps can continue to be constructed in that direction next week. Next one, AMRS got a pattern breakout here. And just to quickly draw on the pattern that you can see it broke out of. So we had that resistance, we had that support. So had an ascending triangle, got the breakout of that ascending triangle. So it's really just a question of, does this want to back test that breakout area? It may not, but as for those of you that are familiar with patterns, you know that lots of times they do like to back test breakout areas. So that's what makes $1.90 a very interesting level of support headed into next week. Now, if this breakout says back test, I'm not going to back test anything. We're going to keep on going. Then so be it. Let's figure out where some next potential areas of resistance would be, with that next level being up there around $2.70. And then from more so the overarching point of view, keep an eye on that pink line up there, which is the very famous 200-period moving average. But you also don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. Let's just first see if this breakout even continues, and then focus on that level of resistance before you put too much emphasis on the pink line right there. But today did show that it can move pretty quickly. So who knows? Maybe that 200-period moving average isn't as far away as it seems. But anyway, look at it. Nice ascending triangle breakout. So let's see if this can build momentum into next week. Next, NIO, and again, going back to the stair-steps are there, but what catches my eye the most, because NIO is a very popular, very well-defined stock. I mean, I'd probably call it a cult stock, but so again, by no means am I trying to impress you. Am I trying to imply this is a great skill or great discovery? I assure you a bunch of people have drawn that trend line right there. So you, again, not guaranteed, but it is certainly plausible to think that if the price can get up to that trend line and break up through it, that break could very well create upwards buying pressure. No guarantee, so as always, risk management matters. But by no means could anybody accuse you of saying that area is some sort of random level on the chart. That would be, that's not a dart throw. That's not some sort of logic where there is no logic. No, there's logic that goes behind it. Doesn't mean it'll work, but nobody could, like I said, accuse you of being illogical or just randomly throwing darts at things. So definitely watch that trend line right there. As like I said, I think a lot of people will be watching it. And then if there are any sort of pullbacks, then the level that stands out is going to be that purple line, which you now know is that 50-period moving average, currently valued at, let's just call it $13.50. Next one, HOOD. Robinhood had some news come out, and apparently the market really liked the news. And another sign of life. Things were looking pretty dire, but you got to give credit where credit's due. Not only was there this huge gap up right here, but even after the gap up, the price continued to progress upwards, which now brings it about like NIO. And again, why I put this at the location of the watch list where I did, so I don't have to sit here and say everything all over again. But I mean, check out that trend line. By using that point and that point, forecasted that rejection point, forecasted this rejection point. And again, I'm not trying to claim that was a great discovery. A lot of people have noticed this general trend line. So like NIO, you got to think that a lot of people, especially those breakout traders, are watching that area and thinking, if it breaks up through there, that could certainly create good upwards buying pressure. So certainly keep an eye on right around, let's call it the $10.90 mark. If there are any pullbacks, then you can see, in fact, let me actually zoom in here now that you see where that red line comes from. But if there are any pullbacks, then check it out. Pink line there, 200-period moving average this morning. I mean, to any of you that bought that pullback right there at that moving average, congratulations. Fantastic entry point on your part. But if there are any pullbacks again, then yes, that 200-period will be that key level, which right now valued at 987. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. And as somebody that trades Tesla almost every day, a very annoying day and a very choppy day. Of course it did things. It gapped up, but then, came down, up, down, kind of back up. So no really rhyme or reason, but the level here that has certainly been established that a lot of people will be watching is $760, which, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that watch previous videos, but if you have, you know that I put that line there, and as the rule states, when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, they tend to act as support. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. Now, this is the first video you've watched. I understand if you're maybe skeptical, and I'm not offended at all. All you got to do is go back in the video archive, watch the previous one where I talked about Tesla, and you'll see I put this line in place, but check it out. Price broke above it, support, 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 and basically last 30 minutes, once again, right there, support. So a lot of people will be watching 760. You're going to have longs watching it, thinking that it could bounce. You're going to have shorts watching it, thinking that if it fails, it could create downwards pressure, in the southern direction there. Both people are valid. Both people are plausible thoughts, but somebody's going to be right. Somebody's going to be wrong. That's why you got to have that risk management. But core point here is that 760 is going to be a level that a whole lot of people will be watching. And then as far as breakout areas, the level here that I'll personally be watching right there around that area, which sits, give or take, up around $785. But all in all, a very tricky day to actually try to trade Tesla, but definitely some very, very clear, very, self-fulfilling prophecy-ish type levels going into Monday. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool and how it can be used to help build consistency as a trader, then certainly get signed up for the free class. Like I said, it'll be next week, Thursday, May 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these videos and would like for me to continue to put out, this kind of content, then please let me know with some basic feedback by hitting that like button and leaving a simple comment down below. It does require quite a bit of time and effort on my part, and I have no problem doing it, but I just want to make sure that I'm not wasting my time. But if you do enjoy these, if you would like for me to continue to make them, then leave a simple comment as simple as hi, thanks, a smiley face emoji. Tell me what you traded today. Tell me what you're watching next week. But hitting the like button, a basic comment, do go a long way in communicating to me that you are enjoying. So again, definitely get signed up for that free class next week. Hopefully I'll see you there. Everybody take care. Have a good weekend.